and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the new series, #Road to the British. Today is Tuesday the 22nd of June and I am just under 17 weeks out from the British Finals PCA, which I'm so excited for. Like, I am going to be filling you guys in on this episode with how I've been doing over the last kind of week or so, because we are now basically a week and a half post show, and I'm really happy with how everything has gone in terms of just the last week or so. Food has been really good, mindset's been pretty good, but I'm going to fill you in on how I'm feeling and everything throughout this video. Obviously big changes in plans, like I'd be like 1.5 weeks out from my next competition if we hadn't have made the decision to fuck off all qualifiers. So yeah, obviously a massive change in plans, a massive change in food, a massive change in just a lot of things. So in this episode I'm going to be running you through my new training split. I've got legs today, so I'm going to run you through my leg day, talk to you about what my focus is now for the next couple of weeks, because we are now in like a bit of a reverse diet break. So food is increased. I literally feel so much more energized. I know I always say that, but I really do feel so much better for eating more food now. I'll give you obviously a little bit of an update on what I'm looking like and how I'm feeling. But yeah, it is 9:30 in the morning. I've already got up this morning. I've done my cardio, which at the moment is 20 minutes 5 times a week, on level sort of 10. So that's my cardio. My steps is 11k per day now. So I've got up, I've done my cardio, I've done a couple of client check-ins, I've had my first meal, which is 60 grams of oats on a training day, so that's obviously really enjoyable. And then yeah, I've basically just put my EAAs in the freezer, ready to train legs. I'm going to be having my second meal in about 40 minutes or so, so I'll show you what that is. And we'll just do a little bit of a day in the life. I'm so excited. I am keen to keep this channel running. I'm keen to keep everything flowing, even though we're not technically dieting right now. I still feel like I want to share my journey to the British Finals. Can't believe it. I'm so excited. So yeah, I will catch you guys when I'm having my pre-workout second meal. Over the last 20 odd weeks, I have eaten my fair share of green beans, right? So I feel like I have a right to say this. This fine beans from Sainsbury's is my personal favourite. I've tried M&S, I've tried Aldi, I've tried Waitrose, I've tried fucking Morrison's. These, from the good old Kenya, these are the best. So pre-workout meal at 10:30. 1 bagel, full bagel, 100 grams of chicken, veg, sauce. Job's a good one. Let me show you what I'm dealing with. This is what I open my fridge to every day. Look at this, it's half a fucking 12 just on my shelf with these Lindors. We stay focused. So I'm off to train legs now, and pre-workout of choice is going to be the MV Pre. I literally always come back to this pre-workout. I love it. So I'm going to have 3/4 of a scoop of that in there. And then EAAs have been in the freezer, and they are, got a little bit of a new EAAs. I'm trying this one out, which is the Supplement Needs EAA Plus. This is in the Pick and Mix flavour. I did have it the other day, and I was a fan, don't get me wrong. I still always will go back to the watermelon one. This is the one that I mean. This is the best one. Like, in my opinion, it is the best one. But I tried this one the other day, and it's actually really, really good. It's very, very sweet. So if you like sweet flavoured drinks, then that's probably the one for you. Next today. Very excited. Very, very excited.
And we're going to use the same details that we use for your direct debit to do the credit check there for you, if that's okay. So private tenancy, is it? That's lovely. Remember. Oh, of course, yeah, I've just realised you're on the other call.
So before we get into the workout, I wanted to do a little bit of a voiceover introduction to my training now, and kind of just chat you through this week's glute workout. So the focus now, so now that we are taking a little bit of a diet break, we're eating a little bit more food, and training is training again rather than just ticking a box, which, to be honest with you, at the end of prep it really was. It was just a box to tick. We are now focusing on a couple of areas which we want to try and improve in the best way that we can with the time that we have. So one thing that we are trying to work on, and one thing that I need to improve on in my physique with the finals, is the condition in my lower half and the roundness of my glutes. So I could do with a little bit more condition in my hamstring and in my glutes, and I could do with a little bit more glute in general. So what we didn't want to do when we were dialing in for the first timers show is take off too much body fat in the lower half, that I lost the fat that I was holding on my glute, because, you know, there's only so much muscle in someone's glute, and women hold a lot of fat in their lower half, in their glutes, in their quads, in their lower stomach. So what we didn't want to do is really push for condition even more, but then lose the fat from the glute and then basically have even worse looking glutes on stage. So what we're trying to do now, and obviously we haven't got a crazy off season, we only have the time that we have, so it's better than nothing, you know. And what we're going to try and do with this time is bring up the glutes a little bit more so that we can afford to bring a little bit more condition to the next show. So big focus on glutes now, and my new training split, me and Dan have sat down and chatted through it, is going to look like this. So 5 days a week. We train Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays, and it's going to be upper, and then it's going to be glutes, and then it's going to be rest, and then it's going to be pull, legs, push. So basically going to be hitting glutes twice in a week, and we're going to be hitting back and shoulders twice in a week as well. That upper body session, I will obviously show it in the series at some point, is going to be a little bit more posterior driven actually, rather than chest and shoulders. So that will be the new setup for the training. We're looking at kind of 4 to 5, 6 exercises in each session, mainly just kind of working sets and back off sets, but there is some clusters in there is some drop sets in there as well. But like I mentioned, big focus in the glutes. So we have the glute session in the beginning of the week, but we also have like a leg day, which is again glute driven. So I'm going to be either hip thrusting or using the glute machine twice a week. A little bit more focus on hamstrings as well. We don't touch quads. The only way that quads are ever going to be touched is in a squat or a lunge. We're not doing any extensions or anything like that. So big focus in the posterior in general over the next couple of weeks. So with that being said, let's crack into this workout. Now that I am back training and feeling like a human being, I am using my Fit Bible to track all of my workouts. If you don't know what Fit Bible is, it is my workout journal where you can track your workouts. You can find this at coachbygeorgie.com. So I'm tracking all of my sessions in there now, which is awesome, and I'm using my CBG glute band to warm my glutes up before this session. I do this at the beginning of every leg day, and I know sometimes people laugh and they overlook it, but for me, adding that band in before my leg days has really helped me switch on my glutes. So we start this session with the abductor machine. Firm favourite of mine. Actually travel 40 minutes there and back to the gym just to use this machine. So 2 to 3 sets on that of 12 to 15 reps. I keep that nice and high in terms of rep range, just to really warm my glutes up. Like, I genuinely find that activating my glutes before legs is really beneficial for me. Then we move on, we've got the hip drive, the glute drive machine, which again is a massive firm favourite of mine, mainly just because I'm lazy and can't be asked to rack a bar. But I really love this machine. I think that if you get it right, it can be so beneficial in your training. Just notice how I'm really driving through my heels as I'm sort of driving the bar up. And I'm trying to drop this weight from my ribs opposed to bringing my knees into my chest too much, because you can do that quite easy with this machine. So just trying to replicate the sort of barbell hip thrust as much as possible. Then we move on to our pressing movement. So I'll rotate between a banded leg press, a hack squat and this pendulum. All of these would be banded. So again, I'm using my hip band here because this for me has been such a game changer. Like when I'm pressing now in these movements, I'm keeping that band super fucking tight, driving through my heels and really switching my glutes on. So as I'm pushing up and driving through my heels, I'm also driving my thighs out so that I'm really switching on the side of my glutes. And I find that doing that with a little pause at the bottom of presses for me, it's just really working in terms of feeling the glutes. You know, as much as lifting load is important, it's also really important to feel the fucking muscle that you're working. So yeah, 3 sets on there, 2 working sets, 1 back off, and then we move into the seated leg curl, which I did a 2 set of 10 reps and then 1 cluster. So we did a 4x4 cluster. Love this machine. Again, just working to fucking failure on these exercises because that's what we need to do, and it feels so good to be back doing that. So yeah, good couple of sets on that leg curl, and I rotate between the seated and the lying leg curl. And then we swiftly move on to the next exercise, which I had been avoiding for about half a year, but Dan told me to do it. So we're back doing the good old dumbbell split squat, which is a killer, let's be real, but also very good for the glutes, because for me, having a wide stance, which you can kind of see here, it allows me to really sit into my hips. It allows me to get good range with my depth, and then it allows me to drive through my heels and really kind of contract my glutes as well. So 2 sets of 12 on there is enough for me. And we swiftly move on to the last exercise, which is the GHD. So big firm favourite of mine. It took me a little while to really get this and really connect with it when I first started training glutes properly, but this is awesome. And I see a lot of people doing this wrong. I see them working their lower back more than their glutes. So guys, when you're doing this, it's such a short range of movement, and the only real thing that you're doing is lengthening and shortening the glute. So when I think of that exercise, I really do think about the barbell hip thrust and the sort of movement and the feeling that you get from that. And then yeah, that was the glute session. There's a little cheeky physique update that I've thrown in there. Gang, it is a little bit later on. I hope that you enjoyed that overlay of my glute session. My glutes are fucking fried, I'm not gonna lie to you. They already hurt. They already hurt. So that's a good sign, of course. It's a little bit later on now, it's like 4 PM. I've had my post-workout cream of rice, which I'm back on, you know. I'm feeling the cream of rice again, which is nice. Still got quite a few meals to get in today, so I'm feeling positive about that. Very positive about that. I've actually just ordered the new iPhone as well. Well, it was actually due an upgrade. So I've got the new iPhone 12 Pro. I literally know nothing about technology. I'm the worst person. You wouldn't think that, would you? You wouldn't think that. But honestly, when it comes to technology and softwares and cameras and phones and fucking iCloud and Apple ID and all of that bollocks, I am not made for that. Like, honestly, I can't wrap my head around things. I said to Ali when I got home, got an upgrade coming tomorrow, so your job is going to be transferring all my stuff over, because I just feel like I'm too thick for stuff like that sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, I've got a package actually. So, hashtag not paid, not sponsored, none of that bullshit. I feel like I have to always say that before I show anything online, because to be fair, most things I buy myself. I am very much that sort of person. I don't tend to do much work with companies or anything like that. Obviously the only real people I work with is Insight Supplements. So most things I will just buy myself. And do you know why? Do you know why I just buy them myself? Because for me, I'd rather just pay for the product than have to fucking do some cringy post on my story and talk about things I can't be asked to talk about. I'd rather just live my life, buy the things I want to buy, and just crack on, basically. So that's why I never really do any product promotion on anything. So what I was saying was, I've got a delivery from Protein Pick and Mix. Protein Pick and Mix is a really good little company, actually. Yeah, they just have loads of protein bars, which I don't actually have on my meal plan, unfortunately. But what I did buy was some exciting bits and bobs. So, again, a company I used to work with but don't anymore, so I just buy my own. I got some of this. Oh my god, this is going to taste like my first ever prep, because I used to rinse this banoffee pie from Skinny Food. So, got 2 of those, and I also got to try the professional way of opening packaging. Oh shit. I've seen this on a few people's stories, so I was intrigued. So this is the cauliflower. No, it's not cauliflower. It's Callo Fit in the salty caramel. I love anything salty caramel, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got another banoffee pie, because it came in packs of 2. No, it didn't come in packs of 2, that's a lie. They sent a free C4 drink, which is exciting. But the main reason... well, the main exciting thing about this package is more energy drinks. Oh, it's been a while since I've had these in my life, but they are back. And do you know what? They're so fucking expensive, and that's the reason on why I don't tend to get them very often. But the purple 3D. If you know, you fucking know. This is like the best flavour. I've got the raspberry, is that raspberry? No, grape, sorry. And then I also just got the blue one. I can't remember if I even like the blue one. And the candy punch, I feel like I don't even like that one. But yeah, so I got a crate of those and some sauces. Cool story, brah. Cool story, brah. So yeah, I'm gonna basically rinse these on my oats and on my cream of rice now, because I'm allowed. Now that I'm not in the back end of the prep. Do you know what? That training session was so good. My energy is so high. I'm fucking... I might not even prep. Fuck prep. Fuck dieting. Fuck being at the back end of a prep. Because you honestly... I make it sound like I don't enjoy it. It was the best thing I've ever done. But it's just funny how different you feel when you're actually eating food. So, food is really good at the moment. And I worked out that I'm eating about 2,000 calories and about 250 grams, if not more, of carbs a day. So that big increase from Dan has been it's been great. It's been really, really good. And I have felt so positive, guys. I have felt so in control with food. I feel so content with my food. Like, I was so worried about post-show. Oh my god, I was so fucking worried. And do you know what? I had nothing to be worried about, because it's actually been a really smooth ride. And I think that one of the biggest things for me with that has been the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, I am all for, like, chocolate and sweets and pizza and, like, that sort of food. But for me personally, as a bodybuilding competitor, I think that staying away from that sort of food post-show was a really good decision from me. Like, once I nipped that in the bud on the Sunday morning, I literally haven't eaten off plan, like as in the foods that I'm meant to be eating on my food plan. I haven't eaten anything other than the burger the other night, like away from that. So I feel like that for me has been a big game changer. So if you're watching this and you're worried about post-show, if you feel like this is like, well, basically, in my personal opinion, what really helped me was just not eating that sort of junk food, because as soon as you start to lose your fucking head, you will go. So that's been a real game changer for me, and I have been pretty on it. The only things, like, I was freaking out a little bit the other day, I'm not going to lie, when I checked in with Dan. So I've been checking in with Dan more regularly, which is another big, like that's been another big positive, is just checking in with him every couple of days, because it's just helped me with my own sort of accountability. Because don't get me wrong, I have been very hungry. Like, you don't realise, I said this in last episode, but you don't realise how much you ignore your hunger until you don't have that focus of show day being a couple of weeks away. So my food focus has definitely been higher, but not for junk food, more just for fucking food. Like, my body is hungry. So that's in another way why I've been traveling to gyms and stuff, because it breaks up the day for me and I'm not sat in this house thinking about my next meal. But what was I even fucking saying then? Oh yeah, I was losing my head a little bit a couple of days ago, because I actually did eat like 7 rice cakes and I had an extra bowl of oats on top of what I normally would have. And I felt really deflated. I felt really upset with myself, because I've been so on it in my prep. Like, I'd literally not missed a fucking beat my whole prep. So I felt a little bit disappointed in myself that I'd had some rice cakes. Which now, saying that out loud, I sound like a fucking idiot. But I was honest with Dan and I said to Dan, like, this is what I've had over extra, and he was like, yeah, you're fine. So since then, everything has been good. We've actually increased food again now, so that's cool. Training days, there's lots of food, which is nice. Like, literally have 2 bagels, 3 lots of oats, or cream of rice, potato, cheese, burgers, like, yeah. So I'm a happy girl, basically. I'm a happy girl. And yeah, like, I'm just looking forward to, I'm just going to try and embrace the next couple of weeks with this diet break, because yes, don't get me wrong, like, when I'm training and when I look at myself in the mirror and when I look at my check-in video, I can see that I'm not as shredded as I was a week and a half ago. I can see that. But we've pushed food up by like literally 800 calories a day. So what do I expect? You know, I'm obviously going to look fuller. But for me, looking a little bit fuller, okay, maybe not having veins in my stomach anymore, that for me is worth feeling better, sleeping better, having better training, enjoying my food again, just being more alive. And I do know it's part of the process. Like, I do understand that I can't stay stage lean. I can't stay stage lean forever, because if I stay stage lean for the rest of this year, I'm going to look like absolute shit when it comes to the finals. So this diet break slash reverse diet slash whatever the fuck you want to call it, I just need to embrace it for what it is. I feel very in control with my food, and for me, that's great. And that's exactly like, what I didn't want to be is in a position where I'm eating shit, feeling like shit, chasing my own tail, and I'm not doing that. So touch wood, bearing in mind we're only like, what, a week and a half post show, that continues. So yeah, I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. So yeah, I'm going to crack on and do the rest of my work. And I can imagine I will catch you guys later. C4. Yes. Sounds like chemicals in a can. That's what my fucking gran would say. Says the girl that drinks fucking Monster every day. Still here though, and I? Still here, and I'm still healthier than fucking... Still healthier than 90% of you fucking bastards that are saying, oh, you shouldn't be drinking that energy drink, it's bad for you. I'm sorry, bad for me. Look at you, mate. You have takeaway 6 times a night and you probably do about 2,000 steps. So don't be telling me that energy drinks are unhealthy, because you're the definition of the word unhealthy, okay? So if I want to sip on my Monster Ultra Fiesta, I'm going to sip on my Monster Fiesta Ultra. Yeah, end of rant. So I just went up to town to hit the rest of my steps. Went to Tesco's. I'm going to quickly show you what I got. So I've got a lot of cheese on my plan now. So I've got some reduced fat cheese grated, 2 things of yogurt. Also got these. So sometimes I have burger bagel, but on my plan it's actually a bun, as long as it's about 30 grams of carbs. So this is actually not even 30 grams of carbs. The calories and macros on this burger are insane. Burger bun, sorry. So 159 calories and 26 grams of carbs. So pick those up, because on a rest day I have one of these with potatoes, as you would have seen in my last video. And then picked up some fucking Volvic. I need to stop. And some Limpo. It is the next day now. It is Wednesday and I am here to wrap up the video. I'm aware of the fact that I kind of just cut it short yesterday, but to be honest with you, nothing interesting really happened. I just continued doing work. Yesterday and today are check-in days for me, so all I really do on my check-in days is train and just do check-ins for clients. So had my rest of my meals. I didn't actually film too much, but I will just show you my evening meal on my training day, which at the moment is a solid favourite. It is a low-fat beef burger with 150 grams of potato and 50 grams of cheese, and then in the evening I have a yogurt bowl and a bowl of oats. So yeah, buzzing. But I wanted to wrap up the video here. Hope that you enjoyed looking over some of my training and just kind of hearing about what we're doing with training over the next couple of weeks before we get back into the nitty-gritty part of prep. Next week I think I'm going to do a little bit of like a Q&A slash sit down-ish video, day of the life, and talk about competing for the first time and give out some tips and some kind of things that I have learned, because obviously now I feel like I can talk about it because I actually did it. So that will potentially be on next week's episode. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Give it a like if you haven't already. Please make sure that you are subscribed and I will catch you next time.